show. Tomorrow 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 show. Oh yeah. Tomorrow show. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. You got that singer. You gotta sing that live, right?
The Tomorrow Show.
Oh shit, that's probably good. Woo!
The Tomorrow Show.
That's awesome.
Whoa! Look at that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good
Nice,
morning. Happy Sunday.
It's not even close to the morning.
Well, good day. Good
I was
morning.
thinking the same thing for a second.
Yeah. Well, good morning to Californians or Hawaiians.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Good day. Welcome to the Tomorrow Show. I'm Mike V.
I'm Erin D.
I'm AC. Hello.
And you got Phoenix over there, resident, just delightful pooch. We got our pooch right here, Minnie under the covers. And, Gandalf's out carousing,
Oh, correct.
causing some mischief, no doubt.
Mhm.
We hope you're taking care of yourselves. So far this year, spring has sprung. We hope that today will give you many reasons to be thinking about, ways to have hope, ways to talk about mental health proactively, ways to just be a part of our community. Hope for Us Network, trying to normalize, talking about all the ways that mental health factors into our daily lives, not just the therapy stuff, not just the diagnosis or medication type stuff, just the everyday human being kind of stuff. There's all these taboos in our lives that we're not encouraged to talk about, be it our sexuality, our identity, the things that we like that are not considered cool, just any number of things. And these, oftentimes, we have shame associated with them. Mental health is very much one of the biggest things around that topic that we don't have encouragement to talk about openly. So we'll be talking about it through all those different angles that don't always get discussed, as we always do on Tomorrow's Show. Giving you ways to have hope, ways to look forward to tomorrow. So have hope. Thanks for being here. Sound off in the chat if you've been having a good Sunday thus far. What are some of the things on your Sunday morning, your Sunday afternoon that gives you hope? I know coffee, warm drink, Sunday morning cozies, all that. Great.
How about a Herkel Durkel?
What's Herkel Durkel, Erin?
It's a Scottish phrase for laying in bed after you should have gotten up.
It's like lounging in your bed. Yeah, you've woken up and
you're just hanging out.
It's not like you're gonna just like pop out of bed and go do your thing, but you're gonna just take a little second to lay there and just enjoy the softness of your bed, enjoy a snuggle with your pet, your partner, whatever.
Yeah.
AC, do you Herkel Durkel?
I've never heard of that. I don't even no.
We only recently heard it was called that for Scottish people.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could have your own name for it. Sleeping in, all that. Herkel Durkel is spelled with Hurkl, Durkl.
Yeah.
Herkel Durkel. There it is. It's just goofy. It makes us giggle a little bit, but
yeah.
What do you usually do on the mornings that you're able to sleep in, AC?
I don't really sleep in.
You don't sleep in?
I'm
Does
usually
Phoenix let
once
you,
I'm up, I'm up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does Phoenix let you?
Lounge?
Yeah. Does he let you? Does he need to get up and get going? Like, is he bothering you
No, he'll wait until I get up.
for? That's nice.
He's a little snuggle bug.
I'm oddly lucky that he doesn't wake me up or bug me when he needs to go out. Yes, I'm talking about you. Hi, bud.
Good boy. Happy Gotcha
But-
Day, Phoenix. I know that was a couple days ago, a week ago, whatever, but
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
boy.
Once I'm up, I'm up. And
Good, yeah. I think there is something to be said on those days that you wake up and you don't have to get up and go right to business or go right to work or whatever. Even if it isn't a sleep in, like you get up traditionally early, just taking that extra second to appreciate the comfy surroundings and the quiet and things like that. Or just like the really, really early morning sounds where you don't really hear too many people out yet. You maybe hear some birds and things like that. That peacefulness that before the rest of the world gets up and going about their day is something to take in and appreciate once in a while when you got the time. I can't believe it's spring already. Technically, we have the equinox, right?
Yeah.
The vernal equinox was the 20.
Oh,
it was on the 19th this year, wasn't it?
You know what's happening tonight?
What's happening tonight?
It's a lunar eclipse.
Tonight's a lunar eclipse?
Yeah.
Is it a full moon?
Yes.
What?
It's a full moon lunar eclipse, but here in Chicago we won't see. I think it's just going to be like a little section of it that's darker.
Huh.
But I did learn that a solar eclipse always happens within like a couple of weeks of a lunar eclipse.
Oh.
Which I was wondering about.
Well, I'll be.
And we have a huge solar eclipse that is going to happen on the 8th of April. And it's going to be like seen. There's just like a lot of the United States that will be able to see it fully.
Not totally the case usually, right?
Yeah.
And the totality of the eclipse is like pretty significant too, right? Like if you're in a specific spot, like it'll be completely eclipsed, right?
Right.
And you told me something very interesting about that as far as like prior to us understanding scientifically what was happening back in like, okay. Yeah, featured eclipse. Yeah, we're all going to be able to see basically most of the Western Hemisphere is going to be able to see this eclipse tonight. So that's cool. And that's the total solar eclipse has got like a little bit of an alley down through like part of Indiana, part of Illinois. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty cool little tool right there. Yeah. So, experiencing that type of phenomena is cool. We understand it now in the modern day. You were talking about some of the Native American history with that.
Yeah. So a lot of Native American tribes, at least, wouldn't look upon an eclipse like it signified different things for them. So like there was always like a very specific way that they would, I don't know, they wouldn't know it was coming. So I guess they would like see that it was happening, and they were supposed to be like certain tribes, but like they're supposed to be silent. They're not supposed to eat during it, not supposed to sleep during it, because it would like cause ailments. So like if you ate during it, then you would have digestive issues. That's what their belief was. If you slept during it, then you would have bad sleep. So they didn't do that. And I think some tribes like still like
observe that.
observe like silence at least. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I didn't know that.
And there was like one story you told me about like a frog trying to
They believed that
like swallow the
they believed
moon?
that the frog was
Swallow
trying
the
to
sun?
swallow the sun. So then there was like dances they would do. Yeah.
To make sure the sun came back.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if you were back in the day, didn't know about eclipses, and all of a sudden it's daytime and it's like 1:30, and then all of a sudden the sun starts to disappear, and you're like, wait, that ain't right.
Yeah.
That would be pretty spooky, right? If the sun kind of went away at the time that you're not used to it going away at.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, AC? That'll freak you out, right?
You like wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know what to do. I mean, you'd be like, why is it getting dark?
No, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
So now that we know,
like it's weird and kind of amazing. Even though we know what's happening.
Even though that we know what's happening, it is still this like spectacle that people will travel to go watch, like see the full thing and all that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that Kigley said Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Reminds me of when
Steve
I was
Urkel.
a young man watching Family Matters, TGIF. Steve Urkel, Family Matters, a classic.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you watch that, or is that like after your time?
No, I did. Yeah, I did.
Did I do that?
So here's one for you.
Yeah.
I hope I don't completely screw this up, but somehow Carl Winslow, right?
Yeah.
His
the
character, the dad, his character is allegedly or somehow, this is like the urban legend or myth story, whatever. His character is somehow supposed to be tied to the cop in Die Hard.
Whoa.
Because it's played by the same actor, right?
Like, yeah. So it's some sort of weird parallel universe type thing or something.
That's
so
funny.
The story goes, and you please look into this on your own, because I might miss something here, but the story goes is that, he's the cop in Die Hard. Excuse me. And there's the explosion or something happens, and there's like one person he couldn't save or something in the movie or in the explosion or something. And then he goes through something, I don't know, ends up becoming a police officer, has this family, and then Steve Urkel out of nowhere becomes their neighbor. And the story is that Urkel was the person that he couldn't save in Die Hard.
Oh.
And Carl Winslow's family is actually made up. And it's all fake because he lost his mind in Die Hard because he couldn't save this Urkel kid. So he makes up this whole family, and it's look into it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
it's
Family Matters is a big hallucination or something? Of that character? I like that. Connecting worlds. It's a
lots
fan.
Of random.
Yeah, I like that fan theory for sure. Yeah, I mean that show was huge. TGIF was huge. You had the Full House. You had the Step by Step. Yeah,
yep. Perfect Strangers.
What was the other one?
Perfect Strangers.
Oh, Balky Bartakamus and Cousin Larry. Come on.
What about Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell.
I think when I was Family Matters was a spin-off show of Perfect Strangers.
Oh, Harriet the wife and Carl Winslow
Was the elevator
worker from
Oh,
Perfect Strangers.
That's why.
I never knew that. Someone just dropped that knowledge on us. That's nice. That's nice to know.
I think when I was watching those shows, they'd show them like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I don't know, maybe I was channel flipping though.
Maybe they.
But I remember seeing them around the same time as like that Family Matters would be around the same time as Saved by the Bell.
Just some classics. Saved by the Bell.
Step by Step.
Saved by the Bell was like, I don't think it was part of the Friday TGIF lineup.
No.
But man, that show was huge. With Zach Morris and AC Slater and Kelly Kapowski and Lisa Turtle. Yeah. And of course,
Screech, R.I.P.
Yeah. I mean, like there was so many good shows back then, but like you go back and you watch them, you're like, the show was not as good as I remember it. Like Saved by the Bell maybe still holds up. I'm not sure, but
yeah, I don't know, but
yeah,
it was just like a mainstay. Like it was just something you did every day. I would watch Stickly on Nickelodeon.
Stickly,
and he would spin his body, and he was a stick. It was a popsicle stick, and
yeah, we're definitely like from the Nickelodeon generation for sure. I think Nickelodeon's still a thing, but it's not quite the same anymore. Back then, though, they had all sorts of shows, and I know that everybody's talking about Nickelodeon right now because of like the scandalous documentary that dropped.
I had no idea there was a thing. I didn't know there was a thing going on. Yeah. I also didn't know there was also a show on ABC called Head of the Class. One of the dudes that was on that show, I guess, was a writer for Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And he was also named as one of the main
bad stuff going down dudes.
Yeah.
It's pretty horrible.
Real?
It's pretty horrible. Like the stuff that came to light with this documentary and stuff, and like, a lot of really upsetting stuff happens in show business, and I hope that we've gotten to a place in the modern day where less of that is happening, but I'm sure there's still lots of people just like, not doing the right thing, unfortunately, when it comes to fame and money and, stuff like that, or even like just the livelihood of young talent like that, so. Yeah. It's important when we think about stuff like that right now, there are some people that are empowering others to speak out if something is happening with them, in this modern day. It seems like there's a little bit higher chance of accountability, or at least information traveling a little bit faster to maybe prevent some of those horrific things happening to other people.
Yeah.
Hey, Jer's in the chat.
Hey, Jer.
Hey, Jer, what's up, man? But yeah, enough walking down memory lane, and I think that this week we've got some pretty awesome segments to revisit. We've got a little bit of Searching for Goodness coming up on a little outing that we took to the Art Institute on one of the free days. Little note there. What's up, Kigley? A little note on free days. If you ever feel like, you just don't have the cash flow to go enjoy one of the world-class museums in Chicago, be on the lookout for those free day calendars. There's a lot of opportunities to go to the Art Institute and a couple of these other really great museums.
They all
and the
have
Shed
them.
Aquarium and stuff like that.
The MCA, the Museum of Science and Industry, the Art Institute, different conservatories are free. All the Museum of Mexican Art, there's the Puerto Rican art, there's the Irish one, there's like so many. So yeah,
it's really, really helpful to like when you're kind of needing to get out of the house, to have some type of cool thing to go do. And sometimes it can feel like if you're like broke or you're short on funds, that you're not allowed to, or that you're not going to be able to. But it's pretty cool that you can find a free day at a museum and go experience some pretty amazing stuff to get some culture in your life, some excitement without spending a penny, and like just be on the lookout for that, be aware of that. But today we're going to take you to the Art Institute for Searching for Goodness. For Nature is Amazing, we're going to take you to the Garfield Park Conservatory on another visit that was free. Garfield Park is always free, by the way. And I think the Lincoln Park Conservatory is also free. That's over by the lake a little bit. But, it's really nice to go in a greenhouse and be surrounded by plants and just kind of soak in a little bit of knowledge in the process. And then we also have our part 2 of Gamer's Paradise, from picking up on Oregon Trail where we left off on the last episode. So we're also going to talk a little MC, think about some of the really amazing wordsmiths in both classic hip hop and modern hip hop. Me and AC will kind of run down a little bit of a list that we both challenged each other to make. And and then we'll have more and more stuff in the weeks to come on the Tomorrow Show. So you guys want to get into it?
Yeah.
You want to take our first adventure?
Yeah.
Searching for Goodness is a segment that we do to take you on virtual field trips, and know that sometimes you have to go outside of your home, outside of your head, to find the goodness, especially if you're having a hard time and maybe upstairs in your own mind, it's just like a bunch of like negative stuff happening. I know that I've struggled with kind of a negative mind space, kind of like the last, I don't know, a couple months, but you keep trying, day by day to prevent yourself from kind of continuing down those dark roads. And when you have friends in your life that you can lean on, or when you have activities that you can go do, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of get out of that negative headspace and go enjoy some life and see that there is goodness in these experiences, no matter how big or small. And, the last few months, even though I've had kind of a negative outlook on certain things, a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of frustrations with just personal stuff, financially and otherwise, that it's nice to be able to think about these types of experiences that help kind of give me a pick-me-up. And it was great to capture this one. And I hope that you guys get something positive out of it, as well as we kind of venture downtown to the world-class Art Institute of Chicago. We went for a specific special exhibition called Radical Clay.
Well, no, we didn't.
No?
No.
I thought that's what you...
Well, I knew about it, but
okay, knew about it.
We just went, yeah, but like we didn't really go down it doesn't matter, I guess, but like we just went down there.
It matters.
We just went down there to like
take advantage of the free
on
day.
a free day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I was reminded that was going on.
Yeah, well, you're gonna see the radical clay exhibit. You're gonna get a little sneak peek of that.
Okay, let's play. Let's do
And
it.
then you're gonna. I'm setting up the clip.
Okay, all right.
You're gonna see a little bit of the radical clay exhibit, but you're not gonna just see the radical clay exhibit. We ended up wandering around and seeing some other parts, other wings of the museum as well while we were there. So we've compiled this little virtual field trip for you all to enjoy. We'll talk a little bit more about it afterwards, but if you can roll the clip, here's Searching for Goodness.
Ooh, that's old as hell. Yeah,
Symbolizes the
those
power.
eyes are intense.
Symbolizes the power of wisdom to penetrate ignorance and destroy evil.
Cool.
Penetrate ignorance.
What's up, buddy?
These were the masks and stuff on the way to the radical clay exhibit. Some amazing stuff.
Man.
All the Japan section.
Yeah, there's there's a whole wing, galleries of Japanese art, and this is just
Those are
some
woven
samples.
baskets.
They're wild.
Those are clay.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. The
Ogre-headed,
detail.
feline-headed.
To avert evil spirits, ancient Chinese people often stationed bizarre creatures, combining elements of real and imaginary animals at or near the entrances to the burial chambers of the elite. These aggressive figures usually appeared in pairs, one with a feline head and horns, the other with an ogre-like head featuring flaring ears, bulging eyes, and upturned nostrils.
So much of those statues were created to ward off evil, and those eyes were meant to penetrate ignorance and destroy evil. Now, you're not going to believe that all of this stuff is clay.
So women in Japan weren't allowed to make their own sculptures, like their own they weren't really allowed to do ceramics. That's out of porcelain. Yeah, so they weren't allowed to do ceramics. They were only allowed to be apprentices for men. So these are all by Japanese women artists who, a lot of them are kind of a protest in a way.
Weird.
Yeah, that one's so wild right there. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
what a fever dream, you know?
on the heel there. What do you
Like a
think?
banana on the heel.
Crumpled newspapers and other discarded items.
These are kind of like pop art. So she
I began to see trash everywhere. When I went to New York on my own, I made a point of walking around all the back streets and alleys because that's where I could find trash that shops had thrown out.
Amazing.
I collected lots of cardboard cartons and newspapers and brought suitcases full back to Japan.
Can't believe it's clay.
Oh yeah, the detail on this one, you're like, what?
these ones where they make it look like hair or small fibers. I just
Crazy.
can't even wrap my head around.
Yeah, those individual fibers blow my mind too. And as somebody that's worked with clay,
Form of the
like
imagination.
you had like a deeper appreciation for the fact that like
Look at that.
you know
Can
how
look at that?
challenging to make some of these
Placed in a
forms would be.
There's a
Yeah.
normal porcelain stone with
Yeah.
building.
Looks like something out of the deep sea.
That is yucky.
Oh, that one.
This one was super gnarly. I like gives me a visceral reaction.
It's just super nasty.
That reminds me of something out of like a horror movie.
Oh, like this
Like
Yeah.
Alien.
Totally.
Like
makes me
Yeah.
happier.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
they're
That's
Yeah,
just
100%. There's another one of those deep sea creatures where I was like, what?
yeah.
a sea creature, babe.
And then that one just full on looks like fabric.
Real.
Yeah, like you can't even wrap your head around that. This was a little room off to the side with more pieces in it, and it was just like really peaceful in there. Yeah, all the shadows and stuff were just like really pronounced.
That
in
one's
this room.
supposed to look like wood. Like a fungi.
Yeah, like fungus or like a coral reef or something like that.
That one was like layers upon layers. Oh, it's just wild. That one looks like metal.
Yeah. These look like gourds of different, like, kind of organic forms, like pumpkins or whatever. Ah, just spooky Halloween pumpkin. We had that whole room to ourselves, though, and was like, I was just sitting on the bench taking it all in.
These are all prints.
By the Light of the Moon was the name of this Japanese print exhibit. It's just that style that you just don't see very often other than in these traditional Japanese illustrations.
Oh,
New Year's Eve fox fires at the changing tree.
yeah. The change.
Just the wonder in your eyes, Aaron, is pleasant. It was great to capture that.
Of course.
There's a stillness that comes with being in a museum that helps me to slow down my thoughts a little bit. So it's just really nice to be in that environment, especially if you've been having like kind of a chaotic life as of
Oh, yeah,
late.
these are all
Story
Pretty-
panels.
Pretty familiar.
like fighting.
Yeah.
Great wall.
Also, the grandness of it all, where you're looking at the informational bit and it's like, this is centuries and centuries old, you know, really, really cool.
Yes. Pretty great.
Ganesh. If you've not been to the Art Institute, there's a modern wing too. Oh, we're glad to take you, Laka Monster. And there's a Georgia O'Keeffe piece that is massive.
Oh, and then we started making our way back.
Oh, boy.
It has little candle holders for you. Oh, that was me.
You tripped the wire there.
Oh yeah.
Back up, back up.
We were trying to make our way back to the armor? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, this was on our way back to the armory.
Claude.
Oh god, and then I see Monet's and I want to faint.
So much Claude Monet. It's got that real
So beautiful.
like fluffy color.
There was a
That's
woman
awesome.
there who was asked us to get a picture of her, and she was like so excited to be. Where did she say she was from Spain?
Yeah, she was visiting from.
She was really
I
excited.
think Spain is what she said. I don't properly
It was cute.
recall, but I love all the frames too, like the ridiculous, like fancy golden frames around these pieces. Look at that. Van Gogh.
He did it. Like,
What's up, Vincent?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is George Seurat, French painter.
Nice.
Point-
Nice.
Pointillism.
Classic.
That's
Pretty
that's the Ferris Bueller.
Monet.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So much Monet.
All right. If you've never gone down to the Armory section of the Art Institute, it's kind of out off the beaten track, but it's totally worth it.
Look at those things. Gnarly.
Just the detail in these things. The papal Swiss
1500,
guards.
1600. Archbishop of Salzburg. It's a good look. I'd wear that.
Would you wear that? I'd wear that.
Mike,
Arms.
I'd wear that.
Yeah, just
Yes,
Insanely
super old
huge.
stuff.
huge, heavy swords. I don't even look at the wood. I don't even understand.
There's so much armor in here. Freaking crossbow.
Sweet crossbow, bro.
Boar skin. Just staghorn.
There's a couple things that are just like super
Reminded me
brutal,
in
super
Scotland.
metal.
Edinburgh Castle. And that room of armor.
That's so awesome.
You're right, that poleaxe is so
The
nuts.
helmets is what always got me.
Yeah, right?
Like, I don't know how they rock
Intense
helmets like
mazes,
that.
look
You know
at
what I
that.
mean? Because there's
Yeah, I
like
guess
there's no
they just-
padding in those cushions.
Right, right.
Like if you had a headache on a bad day in the hot sun too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Totally.
Swords on swords on swords.
Swords on swords on swords.
Very neat.
The fanciest pommels and baskets.
Chief and built of Emperor Maximilian of Mexico.
And then these revolvers. Look at that. Look at that crossbow.
Crossbow?
This one with the Christmas
Crank it back.
Yeah, you just crank it. It's probably like a, I don't know, could you probably like fire multiple arrows with that thing?
Stuff.
Like just crank it and be like, pop, 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 pop. I don't know.
You need to prepare your game. Hunting at court.
Just some super brutal medieval instruments of war.
Also,
This guy was funny to me.
but in a weird way.
And you know, they gently encourage you to make your way towards the door.
Thank you, Art Institute.
You could be in there forever and not see everything, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous building. Like, there's so much happening in there. There's so many different galleries, and that's another like solid reason to take advantage of the free days is because like you're never going to see it at all. Like even if you got there right when they open and you stay until they close.
Yeah.
Like if you were maybe doing like a supermarket sweep up in there and like flying through every gallery, maybe you'd be able to like be in each gallery, but you wouldn't be able to fully appreciate each section of that museum, just with one day. So take advantage of those free days. Go check out a few
It's so
things.
awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. You ever been to a museum too where you're just like by the end of it, you're like, oh my God, 6 hours of reading things, and it can be kind of like exhausting. So
Well, we were there for.
No.
I think we were there for
we were
like
only there
2
for
hours.
2 hours, and it felt perfect.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
2 hours is about my max.
Yeah, that
And then I'm
seems
like-
to be the way to go for sure. Because yeah, you just start getting your eyes are crossing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's just like so much cool stuff in there though. Like, and you could be into paintings, you could be into sculpture, you could be
Yeah.
into like the armor stuff, and there's a little bit of something for everybody there. So there's even like a bunch of weird like stuff in the modern wing that you can't even like fully describe. You just have to like go and see it. So if you like modern art and stuff like that, it's also worth it. And like right down the way, the MCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago, really, really excellent. As far as like if you're a modern art fan, you could go find some like actual contemporaries, people that are still alive and stuff like that. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed that little visit to the Art Institute. We had a blast.
So I want to know about this list that you guys have been talking about.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You want to hear about MCs?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So where did this idea come from?
AC had the idea, and he texted me one day. He said, "Mike B, let's talk about our favorite MCs of all times. Maybe like make a top 10 list, or I think there was maybe like a challenge more so on my part, because you were like, you ain't gonna have 10, right? So
Yeah, that was just me having fun. We can never our schedules are so different. We can't ever. It's like trying to get ourselves in the same room to do anything like musically.
Yeah.
It's been like not easy. And that's like pretty much the whole premise of, our thing is making music or talking about it.
yeah.
So it's like, all right, let's talk about MCs. We can at least do that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where
And
that came from.
I think those MCs also speak to us in ways that like kind of move us and like give us inspiration and like articulate things that maybe we think, but we don't have the words for and stuff like that too. So that's why we appreciate them. I've always been a fan of you as an MCAC, but I believe that you probably wanted me to go a little deeper than like basically things that really like speak to me and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. You want me to kind of give you a couple of my favorites and see if they match any of yours?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I've got Common. Common's a Chicago guy. I really appreciate his positive, conscious hip hop kind of approach, rather than kind of rapping about the same stuff that I hear a lot of people rapping about. Eminem. John 5 from the Flowbots, the main MC of the Flowbots.
Yeah.
It's like a little different setting for an MC, I guess, like with a live band that's got trumpet and cello and guitar and drums and bass and stuff like that. But maybe that's why I like it so much. But also, it was just kind of like a record. Fight with Tools by Flowbots was like something that kind of changed how I thought about hip hop. So, yeah, you know it. I can ride my bike with no handlebars. So yeah,
No handlebars.
That song was real big on that record, and then I listened to the whole thing from front to back, and kind of got obsessed with that record for a while. So I really like the way that like there's a bit of a political edge to the rhymes that John 5 puts down. I'm obsessed with Anderson .Paak, so you probably could have assumed that I'd put him on there.
Sure.
Not just as like an all-round, badass of a musician, but he can rap, he can sing. I really like what he does. I've got Busta Rhymes. I got Nas, which I figured you'd probably have Nas on your list as well. Me and you connected up on Nas like early on when we started working with making beats with groups of youth. We used Nas's, we used a bunch of Nas songs, but like I Can and stuff like that were really big deals when we first started working on that program. I love Killer Mike from Run the Jewels, not just because his name's Mike, but Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5. And then these three or four are kind of like a given. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Notorious B.I.G., and Tupac. I feel like I would kind of be silly not to include since they've had such like massive impacts. And then Gift of Gab. Gift of Gab was from Blackalicious.
Blackalicious.
A group that Gift of Gab, I think he passed away a year or two ago. But really, really cool opportunity here in Chicago to see him at Emporium quite a few years ago. That was pretty amazing because I don't know, it's not very often you get to see one of your favorite MCs like and have them like just a few feet from you, or even have the opportunity to like talk to them, after they're done with their set. It was unusual, and I was kind of starstruck. So I know that's more than 10, but how many of those were on your list?
None of them.
None of them?
Maybe
okay.
one.
What did you have on your list?
Real quick, I saw Blackalicious on one of the illest tours ever. It was Blackalicious, Nika Costa, Saul Williams, and Carl Denson's Tiny Universe.
Yeah.
At the State Theater. That tour was insane. You had honorable mentions with Snoop, Dre, and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever knew
Jay-Z
this.
down, but yeah, I should have put Jay-Z down. Yeah.
The song, shit. Was it Still Dre? I think it was Still Dre. Snoop and DOC were trying to write the song and couldn't for hours. Couldn't figure out the part, couldn't get it right. Called up Jay-Z. Jay-Z flew out to California, wrote Snoop and Dre's part on the spot, flew back home to New York.
Man.
So what
outrageous.
you hear in that song is Jay-Z. He wrote it perfectly, like catered it to them perfectly.
Yeah, like he's just such a master. He was able to write in the voice of someone else.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So mine go Eminem, Ice Cube, Talib Kweli.
Ooh, yeah.
Chino XL, Royce da 5'9", Queen Latifah.
Oh, the Queen. Hell yeah.
And then honorable mentions. I don't know if I said Royce da 5'9". Did I
did.
say Royce already?
Yeah.
Andre 3000. Did I say him already?
Ooh, I should have put Andre down because, man, just
Andre,
so many amazing things to say about him.
He's got one of the coldest lyrics out there. His rhymes are dope, but what people don't understand is that his cadence, the way that he does his rhymes, the way like no one can touch him. There's a song that he does with Goody Mob called Black Ice. And the way his flow hits with the way that the beat and the drums go with what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Out cold. You got Ras Kass, who's one of the greatest hip hop tragedies of all time, other than Biggie and Tupac. Of course, Biggie is on there. Plug 1 and Plug 2 from De La Soul, MC Light, and last but not least, excuse me for honorable mentions, is Boss from Detroit. She was a bad MC, gangster to the bone. So, R.I.P. to Boss.
Nice job getting some of the females in that list. Queen Latifah, I can't believe I didn't even think of her.
Yeah,
just such a powerhouse. And I think when it comes to Andre, when you bring up Andre 3000 and him being kind of relevant right now with the flute record that he put out and everything, that he did a feature on an Anderson .Paak album on Ventura in 2019. The first track on that album is a song called Come Home. And it's a great song, regardless of if Andre had been on it or not. But about halfway through that song, it drops way down, and Andre 3000 comes in with a verse. Okay. And it is just flawless. And like he gets going super fast, but then he like stops at these certain points where the cadence is just so unique. And I mean, that's just kind of like how he is. And like what you were saying is like really great rhymes, but holy moly. We forgot LMM.
Who?
You forgot LMM. Latka Monster. Who's LMM? Help us out. Lady.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either, but I'm going to look it up. I like it. I like the fact that we're getting some MCLMM. It can't be this. It can't be what I'm looking up. Well, if they,
I don't even know if I want to look it up.
Lin-Man.
What is it? MCLLM?
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda talking about Hamilton.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. I'll give you that.
I'm not saying nothing because this is why. I could sit here and be like, he ain't no MC. Man, that dude would light you up. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. Like, being an MC, you got to be sharp. You can't just be saying nothing. There's people that will light you up. He's definitely one of them. Lin-Manuel, say his name, Mike. I always get Lin-Manuel.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's sharp.
He's dangerous.
Yeah.
Two other dudes that people should check out. Harry Mack.
That guy's a freestyle. That guy freestyles all the time online, right?
What might be one of the best freestyle Eminem MCs next to Eminem and Juice from Chicago. And Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky, yeah. I was gonna put him on my list, but like, yeah, Lil Dicky he's
I know it's a TV show.
Really good.
Yeah, I know they he's got his thing on this TV show or whatever. But if you go look that dude up, man, some of these freestyles that he's on, like on the Breakfast Club and like, some of these like Sirius XMs and the Shady 45s and some of those hip hop podcasts, man, some of his freestyles make me want to quit. Like, all right, I'm done. Like, some of these people out here are MCs to the bone. Look them up, people. Like, for real.
It's really interesting watching something like that. Like, for instance, this Breakfast Club thing where he's like looking around the room at like each of the people sitting around and like just on the fly weaving it into whatever he's freestyling it. And like, I feel like that takes like an extra sharpness to be able to do on the spot like that, rather than, you know, in the studio writing something out or like kind of working on something in the studio, even if you're not writing it down, just like trying to get it perfect for a recording. There's something to be said for those MCs that can kind of just do it off the top of their head. And
that's and that's what a lot of battling is about too. Like, that makes the best MCs. You have to be observant and know things around you and be able to pick people, you know, pick things out, you know, you have to.
Well, and the extensive vocabulary too that goes into it, like being able to use like all sorts of different descriptions for things, or being able to like really separate your syllables in a word to work out like a cadence that is just going to surprise somebody, I think is it's a really amazing, impressive skill. I'm not someone that can rap or freestyle or anything like that, but I do like to, you know, just make up stuff when we're making a beat. And like, I'm more of a singer, but you know, you guys have heard us on some of our theory and beats, like trying to do the rap thing. And it's just like, it's something that I am humbled by every time I listen to these great MCs being like, man, how did they put those words together? Man, Rap God, that Eminem track where Busta Rhymes features on it, it's like got some of the like most ridiculous speed raps that I've ever heard, but they're able to articulate every single bit of it, where it's like it's going so fast that you don't think you would be able to separate like all of the sounds you're hearing. But
yeah,
the skill that those two dudes have as far as like putting words together at a tremendous speed and still being very articulate in the process is just amazing to me. I guess that's why I've never really like appreciated some of the mumble rapper stuff. Like, I'm like, there's no articulation. Like, how am I supposed to know if they're doing the thing to the same level? And, you know, my opinion on the matter is that they're not, but, you know, I'm sure people would, some people would disagree, you know, like, especially like those, you know, youngsters that really love the mumble rappers. I don't really get it, but, if you've never listened to, Gift of Gab's, like alphabet aerobics, I'm not talking to you. I'm sure you have, AC, but listeners out there, viewers, I would do yourselves a favor if you don't know who Gift of Gab is, you don't know who Black Alicious is. That's a really cool thing that probably went viral at some point, you know, early in his career, because he takes every letter of the alphabet and uses that first letter to rhyme a bunch of A words, rhyme a bunch of B words in succession, rhyme a bunch of C words, on through the whole alphabet. And it's getting faster and faster as he's going. And it's just a really impressive thing, as far as like, if you don't have like a deep appreciation for MCs already, maybe that would do it. But I think I expected you to say a couple of these like Nas and Busta, but I'm glad that you kind of went for some of those deeper cuts and like kind of fleshed it out.
I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're great. They're great. They're definitely probably in my top 20. You know, people got to understand. There's a lot of MCs out there. I could go on for probably a good 2 hours just listing off MCs, why they're great, what they did, blah, 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 their origin, what their favorite food is, who they had beef with, what microphone they use. Like, I'm nerdy like that. Travie McCoy, he's another one from Gym Class Heroes. He's
know.
another sleeper MC that doesn't get like the respect that I think he should. Dude's got some bars. Prof. There's another one. Dude from
Prof was from the
Minnesota.
Fugees, yeah?
No, Prof. P-R-O-F. Prof.
Oh, I thought you said
Dude
Prof.
from Minnesota.
Gotcha.
Prof.
Prof.
Slug from Atmosphere. Idea. LP before he was with
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
He was part of this other hip hop crew, Def Jux. And they had like this huge underground like hip hop thing like for a minute. Like LP's got bars.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll just stop
he goes
there.
toe to toe with Killer Mike all the time. So, I mean,
yeah,
you can't be a slouch. Killer Mike just won that Grammy too for his solo record, Michael, which is pretty cool.
And he'll be at Pitchfork.
Yeah, that would be really fun to go to.
Or Lala, Pitchfork, one of the two.
Yeah, I'll have to double check, but really worth checking out. Michael, his solo record that came out, but all the Run the Jewels stuff's really excellent too. And I mentioned Charlie Tuna. He's from Jurassic 5, but you'd also be worth checking out Ozo Motley. He did a bunch of rapping on some of the Ozo Motley albums where it's like a mixture of mariachi and like a lot of Latin infused kind of music that incorporates a lot of hip hop too. So it's got a little bit of something for everybody. MIA, another great one. I mean, like you said, there are so many. AC, when you're looking for, talent as far as MCs go, or you're writing your own rhymes, what's the most important to you as far as like the approach to this art form?
Sorry, I was looking for my Ozo Motley record. I got it around here.
That's all good.
I got the first one on vinyl. I met Charlie Tuna at that work tour, and he was
cool.
the nicest dude in the world.
Got a very distinctive voice too. It's like really deep and rich. It doesn't sound like other dudes.
No, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was your question? I was looking for that vinyl.
I mean, what makes an MC stand out to you? Like, what are you looking for to be impressed by?
Can I understand what they're saying? And is it different? Does it make me think? Is there wordplay? Do you have punchlines? Like, do you have something to say? Do you have rhythm in what you're saying? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Can you spit 16 bars without using profanity in all of them?
True.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like, if you can, spit bars and not drop F-bombs, or, whatever, like every other, verse, that's an MC, be versatile, know what you're talking about.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think one that you kind of that when you were talking about all those lady MCs too, I kind of forget that Lauryn Hill is like really good at rapping too. And then I'm like thinking about Miseducation and like all the amazing like bars that she laid down on that record. Just a lot of talented people in that art form that often get overlooked. And this is just like such a important thing to underscore. This type of expression in many cases was probably life-saving for many of them as far as finding an outlet, finding a platform, finding a way to convey, pain or joy or whatever it may be, a lot of emotional content, conveying it in a very creative and stylish way. You know what I mean? It's just,
sure.
It's something that I hold on the same pedestal as I do the fine art in an art institute type situation. Like It's just a different type of art. These types of expression that you're searching for as an individual, if writing poetry or writing rhymes like allows you to tap into an outlet for yourself, it'll help to utilize that for your own sanity, for your own health and wellness. So don't just think of it as rap music or hip hop. Think of these things as expressive outlets that help to get out the bad stuff or get out the intense stuff, or to just kind of relieve some of that pressure that builds up inside of us. And that might be painting, that might be music making, and that might be cooking for other people. Know that any outlet that you are able to tap into that helps kind of convey and express what's going on inside, that helps us to dismantle the stigma that keeps people silent about the things that are going on inside them. That's what we want to create in our communities. It's what we want to encourage in our communities, is people finding those things that work for them so that they can maybe make the next great next album of be it hip hop music or, you know, whatever speaks to their soul. So I think it's fun. I think we'll probably talk a lot more about MCs in the future and different producers and stuff like that as we find ways to, you know, bring you theory and beats, even if we're not able to get together and make a song in the time that we have in between episodes. So thanks for challenging me, man. I hope I didn't disappoint.
You did all right.
Also, I sent AC like a YouTube clip the other day because I saw Dr. Dre on Jimmy Kimmel. He was on because they gave him a star on Hollywood Boulevard. Dr. Dre finally joins the ranks of all the other stars out there on Hollywood Boulevard. And they LA called it Dre Day, and all of LA was out in droves to pay respects to Dr. Dre. And it was wild during that interview. He listed off all the artists that Dr. Dre has helped to break. And man, what a list. What
like everyone?
Yeah, kind of. It was just unbelievable to hear it listed back to back to back to back. And it was an incomplete list too. So Dre's got a new Snoop Dogg record that he's producing, their first in 30 years. So that's kind of cool, since it's been since Doggy Style that Dre's produced Snoop's music. So that'll be cool. He also dropped the news with Eminem's kind of blessing that Eminem's going to have a new record coming out this year too. So, you know, lots of cool new music to check out. And if you like it, share it with people. It might really make their day. Some of the greatest things you can do with the music that you're listening to is pass it on to people that you love and appreciate, and be like, hey, I love this. I thought of you. Check it out. It's always nice to be thought of. It's always nice to find some new music. So, you know, pretty cool stuff. Andre did a show at Garfield Park Conservatory while he was here in Chicago. And I didn't get to go to it. Too much money. But I thought it was pretty amazing that went down. AC, you were the first one to kind of share that record with me. So I thought it would be a good dovetail into our Nature is Amazing segment. I'm going to be pulling up a little visit to the conservatory that we went on, and we'll be talking a little bit through it. Check this out. It's gonna blow your mind. It was a really nice day, spent surrounded by beautiful plants.
Again, we went at the end of when they were closing.
Yeah, it was like the last
but it was nice.
Last hour or so that they were open. But check this out. This is Nature is Amazing. And so are you. Oh boy.
So they have the flower show happening through March. So all of these flowers are are blooming in there right now. These crazy orchids, these daisies that were purple on the underside.
Yeah, they had like goth outside.
Oh, where's Mike?
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, man, just it's hard to be frowning in there when you're surrounded by
I love that thing.
just awe and beauty. And yeah, that thing looks like something out of the deep sea as well.
I used to have one of these and it rotted.
I love when cactus flower.
Horse teeth. Looks like horse teeth.
Those for real look like horse teeth. Sure.
Iwarthia. Those, the color of that. I
Yeah.
love that.
I like barrel cactuses too. They're just so fun.
So this was the desert.
Yeah, we were in the desert greenhouse.
Yeah, the desert house. So
Berry cherries or something.
a bottle.
Whoa.
So this was right at the end of our trip there, and the woman had asked us to leave, so I took this on the way out.
Yeah, we
Woolly torch. Look at it. It's woolly.
yeah, that's such weird hair too. It was like looked like plastic or something. But yeah, there's like endless environments to kind of experience.
Who made those?
They remind me of like Dale Chihuly, a glass artist, but
Yeah,
it
I
might have
guess we
just
don't
been
know they're actually
any
yeah,
type of glass blower that made them. Like organic forms of glass in the mix.
This is the is this a palm room?
This
No.
might have been the palm room.
That is the biggest monstera I've ever seen.
Yeah, some of these leaves are like dinosaur sizes. You imagine a big old dinosaur munching on them.
Mm-hmm. Here's the flower, where the flowers are, and I would imagine that they have different ones that bloom, after these.
We saw a lot of them blooming, and we saw a bunch that were going to probably pop open in the next week or two when we were there. It was St. Patrick's Day, actually.
Yeah, those little daffodils.
So at this point, you might, if you were to visit, you might see some stuff that we did not see, all in full bloom.
These are Mikey's favorite. What were they called, babe?
They're like handbag plants or like
handbag.
Those look cool.
Yeah,
That's
and they're like
awesome.
filled up with air too. They had like this little pouch of air. It's just you're like, what? That's like an alien, man. Just something about being around nature that also makes you feel kind of calmer than you usually are.
Pocketbook
Flowers, not handbag flowers. Get it right. But the cool part too is you just see so many different walks of life taking advantage of this free resource in the community. Families,
old
people, young people.
Said.
What did I say?
You said it looks like a truffle tree.
Oh yeah, like Dr. Seuss style from the Lorax. Yeah.
From the Lorax.
Yeah. I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
So that was the fern room then, and this is the palm house that you walk through.
It's just incredible. If you've never been, 100% worth going. There's conservatories in Oak Park, Lincoln Park, Garfield Park. You know, a lot of different neighborhoods have them. There's a place called the Jungle of Niles that I just learned about. So, you know, check out what's in your area as far as greenhouses go.
This is always a good.
So many kids running around having a good time. They dyed the pond green.
Expect that. Did you?
It's a great way to spend the day, or just a few hours of your day.
I love it.
Pitcher plants.
That's awesome.
Do you think people saw those in nature and then tried to make their own pitchers later? Or they just called them pitcher plants because they looked like the pitchers they had?
Mm.
I wonder. Chicken or the egg kind of situation, right? They have a couple jungle paths that you can like kind of walk through.
We'll go on one.
Just, I wish we had smell vision because like the earth.
Smell vision.
Yeah. Those are super weird. I love them. Little tiny Venus flytraps. Bromeliad.
Look at those.
I want to get a bromeliad and give it to a bro and be like, this is your plant, bro.
This is your plant, bro. Mike, you're too much.
I've been told that. Oh, the palm fronds. They're just so big.
Softball Meadows health medicine. Wow.
Craziest thing. It reaches out really far.
Whoa. Makes you want to go to California, doesn't it?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that guy.
Want to take that stairwell up. Down on the wall.
Yeah, there's this big spiral staircase.
So awesome.
Ram goat dash alone.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky to have stuff like this within the city limits since it is a city. It's really nice to get out into the forest preserves too. But, you know. Oh, yeah, it's got those fluffy. Yeah, those are weird. I love it.
I love the cactuses.
Me too.
Or is it cacti? I always
Either
get
of
it,
them.
I
get it
think
wrong.
both are acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were talking about how so many things are euphorbia, even though they don't look anything alike.
Those little spotted guys.
Those are really interesting too. How they catch water in the center.
Yeah, that's how they get there.
It's like they just got a cup of water that they're hanging on to.
Like it might be fuzzy.
Yeah, what a strange texture. It's just a special place. Can't say enough good stuff about it.
Like all sorts of weird berries up in that.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Little trip down the way. So
Little trip down the way.
yeah, it's not too far from where we live here at the Trey House, right down the way. And yeah, if you're in a different city, I'm sure there's some conservatories or botanic gardens or even forest preserves that you can go get your nature fix. And just
Or like a plant shop.
yeah, honestly, plant shops can be kind of like a little mini conservatory at times. Just like when we go get pet food at the pet store, we usually take a little second to check in on the lizards and the birds and things. And we're like, it's like a little mini zoo trip for sure. We saw the tiniest chameleon at the pet store the other day when we were getting pet supplies, and he just had his eyes all like going different directions and stuff like that. It was like he looked very cute. He was like moving super slowly with his eyes all
tiny,
bugging out. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by all means, find ways to enjoy nature and get yourself some kind of like just some of that primordial nature up in your life.
I had a regular at work the other day. It snowed kind of randomly, and she was like, I saw a daffodil on the boulevard and I'm gonna go take a picture of it in the snow, and was like really excited. I thought that was cute. But it's like finding those little things even on like, a walk that you're on or whatever. Like walking around the block with the dog, we'll find stuff. And sometimes, the dog's the only reason I like get out of the house that day, and that's okay, so.
Yeah, and like to see those buds on the trees, like just beginning, and then the next day to see it like a little bit further along until the point where it's starting to shoot off little leaves or little fuzzies or whatever. It can be a good way of kind of like tracking our progress towards warmer months and a little bit more outside time if winter's been getting you down.
Yeah. AC, have you seen
Yes.
a pig on the street over from you? There's like
pig?
Yeah, so
No.
there's like a little pig that a family that I saw on our local community page. A family is like fostering this rescue pig named Maple, and it's like on the street, like between us. It's like in one of those streets, and sometimes is out in the yard apparently.
Yeah, there was this video of it running around the yard just like a little puppy. It was so funny. It was just like running in circles.
I was just gonna ask you if you and Phoenix had come upon this piglet.
Have not seen it yet.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah, it's always funny walking around.
I don't know how many would react to that.
Walking around neighborhoods in Chicago's you never you're never sure what you're gonna see in someone's yard. You might see a city chicken.
I love a city
You
chicken.
might see a city duck.
Yeah.
But I
or
haven't
like hear a rooster randomly.
Yeah, I haven't run into the city pig yet, but I have a feeling we might take a walk trying to run into the city pig at some point.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know. I saw that Phoenix he's got a little buddy on his block.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yep. He's yeah. Let's just say if things were a little bit better over this way, he would probably have a new friend.
Yeah, definitely.
I would
Like
probably
you would get
go get him.
He would get a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have a pair of pooches.
Yeah. Just it's for those of you that don't know, my dog was attacked by a stray pit bull, and it was almost 2 years ago. So getting him to interact with any dog without reacting, loudly barking defensively, wanting to protect himself or whatever, is rare. So my dog recently has a buddy around the corner that he will stop and sniff through the gate, and the other dog does the same, and it's adorable. And it's
That's
nice to
good.
see my dog slowly starting to heal. He'll still bark at dogs that he might seem as a threat, but for him to warm up to a dog he doesn't know this the way he did that's a huge step. So
That's awesome, man.
good things. Good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's cool that you said like healing too, because I mean, just like humans, dogs, if they go through something that is super intense and super scary, it might cause like that psychological harm where it is like an injury, just like spraining your ankle or scraping your knee. And time can help, but also having positive supports like you've been for him, and that equates to just like us having our friends when we are healing and in the process of healing from something that was really challenging or upsetting for us. It's really great to have good friends that are kind of encouraging you and supporting you along the way in your healing. So really grateful for some of the people in the chat specifically for being there for us, and vice versa. So really cool. And last we were with y'all, we gave a little preview of the new Oregon Trail game on Nintendo Switch that Erin had gotten. Yeah, Scrampsy, let's go. Nice to have you here, buddy, and thanks a lot for our substitute showrunner today, Carl Evans, in the seat controlling things. Pretty cool that we got such a supportive crew. So with Oregon Trail, we left you kind of hanging. Last time. We didn't want to like make the whole episode about Oregon Trail, so we do have a part 2 of Oregon Trail.
Just kind of showing you more of the game, and there's like, so my characters had collected some berries was the last thing they'd done, but there's just a little bit more. You're always like surprised. Like I thought that I was way closer to Oregon than I was.
Yeah.
So we didn't get all the way there with this video, but they have since the last 2 got to Oregon. And I did have to ford
a river.
I did have to ford the river, and like
you could ford a fjord.
Like I don't know if you remember on the original game, but you would have to like kind of direct at the very end. You would have to like direct your wagon around the rocks in the river, and I wasn't expecting that I still had to do that, but I did have to do that.
How'd it go?
It was okay.
I guess we'll see.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is we don't get to see that part.
Oh, okay. We don't get to see that.
Because Oregon was way further than I thought it was, but that's all right. Yeah.
And Gamer's Paradise is what we call this segment. And so we're going to pick up from where we left off on the Oregon Trail game. Give you a little taste of this game if it's going to be something that you are interested in. You get to see a little bit more of a sneak peek before you commit and purchase the game. And this
is not an ad. We are not.
These games, though, can help you with a healthy form of escapism if you need to kind of like unwind and kind of just have something that's like, something fun to do, something that takes your mind off whatever's stressing you in life. These are also helpful life skills for dealing with your health as it pertains to the part of health that we don't discuss. When you start feeling bad physically, you are taught from an early age how to deal with that and be proactive and prevent it from getting worse. When it comes to your mental health, we're not given that same type of tools or conversation early on in our lives. So a lot of times we will ignore it or we will hide it, suppress it. So if you're ever struggling and you need to do something just to get your mind off what you're doing, video games can be a really healthy thing for you as well, if that's your bag, So we're going to queue up that next Video Gamers Paradise Oregon Trail Part 2. Oh, I like that.
Now we get
I
to
like
choose
that.
our route. So it looks like we can only
So
go
this
straight
is
from
when
here.
we're
There's
going
not
from
way
Fort
to go back.
Boise,
So
right? Or are we past that? Oh, yeah,
all we
that's
know
where our
about
wagon
this
is.
that it's a nondescript
We're on the trail.
So we have to go
Okay.
there. So we'll go there.
I
Okay,
guess.
so it.
Oh, come on, guys. You look so sad.
Yeah.
Looking pretty
tell
rough.
you- Ooh, a black bear. We spotted a black bear.
Oh.
A bouquet of wildflowers rests against a lone marker on the side of the trail. A fresh mound of earth beneath it. The surrounding grass you barely recovered from a recent trampling. Something has been carved into the stone, words for whoever lies below. James decides to approach the marker and read the words aloud.
Oh, James, that sure is nice. It's also a bear.
Yeah. It reads, "Our only child, little Mary, 4
Oh,
years
man.
old." So we knew Mary. We met her many times on the trail.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
he's sad.
That is
Yeah. So because we knew her and she died.
you're checking in.
Yeah.
Frail monument.
So it said quest complete because we had been helping that family a little bit.
The collection of words right there, frail monument,
Yeah.
is it's kind of a nice thing. It's poetic. I don't know why. Is frail monument what they called it back then?
You have unlocked frail monument epitaphs. I don't know what that means, but we could try to find out later.
I really
no,
like the
our
updated
wagon is getting
graphics, but
worse.
still
You probably
maintaining
didn't
kind
want
of
to shoot
that
that bear, I guess.
It didn't let us.
simple approach.
Yeah, me
Look
too.
at this nice little
Oh.
background.
Okay,
Ooh, a stranger.
a stranger. A stranger dressed in ragged clothes flags down the wagon. A deer carcass lies beside him. It looks as if it's been dead for a considerable amount of time.
Ooh.
I got separated from my companions while hunting. We were headed to the Blue Mountains. It's so cold. Say, could you spare some warm clothes or anything to keep me warm? I could offer you some of this here deer meat.
Ah,
And then it tells us what we have. So let's ask about the meat and we can see.
sure.
I caught it a few days back and cured it as best I could, but with my kindling so wet it's powerfully hard just to make a fire. But it is good, I swear it. This poor guy. Okay, so we can trade him one. We can either trade him 2 pairs of clothes for 150 meat, or 1 pair of clothes for 75 meat. We don't need. We might need clothes.
Yeah.
I think we're okay on food because we got all those. We got like.
Well, there's only 2 of you. We got a bunch of berries.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. We know that there's like fishing coming up, so I'm just gonna trade him 1.
Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly.
That allows him to continue on.
You kind of freed him.
Sometimes it comes back too, like it'll come back to you if you screw someone over or not.
That's good.
The man is but a speck in the distance when the sacks are open. Oh, the meat has been poorly cured indeed. Despite the cold weather, it is rotten and teeming with maggots.
Ew, maggots.
So if we eat it, we'll probably get sick. So Yeah.
He screwed us over.
If we were like,
Hey.
We'll just start it.
But you
It
know,
makes
you
them
did
sad.
something nice for
So,
someone. That's
um,
worth something.
Well,
Yeah.
you can inspect the meat.
Replaced with a deep annoyance at being conned so thoroughly. So their morale is not good.
I felt being. Oh, you're gonna
I
vomit.
will
This is
surely
gross.
vomit, the speech
So-
bubble said.
Okay. So when they're kind of in this condition, you kind of gotta check on them a lot. Their morale.
Pretty low.
I gotta say, James
I
is
could
styling
use this
in his
harmonica.
Oregon Trail outfit.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna
Is-
wait.
Just in case it gets worse.
His adventure
Yeah.
clothes.
Unfortunately.
What did the harmonica do again? It like boosts morale.
it does
Just broken
raise their
leg for
morale.
50
Yeah.
days.
Music.
That's
Just
how
always
long
helping
I've
out.
had It hasn't been 50 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But anyways, 50 days, broken leg. That sucks.
Okay. Should we go?
So basically, you're just rolling
I
the dice
think
when
we
you
should
don't know
go
what's ahead.
straight.
Well, I mean, it's
Well,
zig or zag is what it is.
Yeah.
Neither of them are straight.
You just kind of have to look
No,
ahead
I
and be
just
like,
Which
do
Will
we?
it be? You want to just
I
continue
guess either way we'll
directly
be
to
able
the left?
We definitely just want to get to that fish, right?
Yeah, so then go straight as you said.
You're trying to get to the fishing hole, huh?
Either way.
Yeah. Because we're like
Okay.
running out of food. Like it's not horrible, but
Apparently, something Lewis and Clark did is available to read in our journal. There's squirrels.
Emma's walking pretty good for a broken leg, I gotta say.
yeah.
Sorry, too late.
The wagon lurches to a stop with an almighty crack as the wheel strikes a rock sticking out of the dirt. So, we
Rock
need to
and roll.
consider repairing the damage. So James will do that.
Because he has a higher like number than she did,
And now it's
Yeah.
successful.
so she could have like failed at repairing it, but he has a good chance of being able to.
I like that section was called rock and roll.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Very silly.
So
just,
you spot stuff on the trail,
Writes
but
it-
like
so it automatically writes it down in the journal for you?
yeah, it's
We're
you can
gonna-
change the
I gotta ask
settings.
about that
Lower-
bottom right thing.
We're gonna lower their pace a little bit.
Ah,
You're lowering the pace because of just how rough everybody was.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not actually. I'm gonna keep it.
Well, worse for wear.
It also, I think
Okay.
you like go through less food too.
The thing we didn't know was on the map was a place to hunt.
So I was hunting.
Alright.
So, we have 8 bullets, so we'll try it out. James will try it out. What was your question about the thing on the bottom right?
Can't see it anymore, so I'll ask it again when I see it.
Okay.
Have we seen the hunting yet?
Oh man.
To be honest.
I don't think we
There
have.
we go. Is it like old
And
school?
it's
hunting?
kind of like it's
Yeah.
pretty much exactly like
yeah,
the old
it really
hunting.
is.
Yeah, I think the
Right.
only thing is the old hunting
Yeah,
you
simple.
were facing one direction, and this one it's like all around you.
Ooh.
A moose.
Yeah, and the graphics are updated slightly, but yeah,
Oh,
it's like
wow.
still kind of the same approach.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to carry
If
this.
a moose like
Yeah.
runs you over, does that
Wanna
hurt you?
shoot 'em?
No,
So
Oh, okay.
luckily.
Are you protecting yourself? Self-defense.
No, you can't get hurt. Just
And I remember you can't carry it all back,
Okay,
right?
that's-
100
Yeah,
pounds.
so-
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's great.
goodness.
He'll carry as much as he can.
Nice job, though. 100 pounds of
So
food
that
is
was all
gonna
my bullets, but that's all right.
really help.
Okay.
And
He
then
managed to hunt it, but he could only
That was
carry
it.
50 pounds back.
Alright.
Okay, so with the track we had, we automatically just gained another 30.
Oh, you set that trap.
If you have it, it sets it for you automatically, which is nice. Okay, so you can skin. If you have a knife, you can skin more animals, but we don't have a knife. So
Oh.
he's just gonna skin what he can.
yeah,
Yeah. So we can complete the bitter winter journey to get those, but
Yeah.
Have you
5
since
pellets.
unlocked the Bitter Winter
So you
Journey?
got 5 pelts.
I
That's pretty
failed
good.
it.
Oh yeah, it was really hard, huh?
Pellets on
Fishing.
accident.
Yeah, I died.
Okay.
But if you do
are-
the bitter winter, then
Okay,
you get
we
the knife
have
and you
to
can get more
do
pelts
something
and you
about his
sell them,
stamina.
and it's good. But
So you just rest and it increases?
Well, you can't rest whenever you want.
Your wagon
You
is
can only
chock
rest
full of
at
stuff.
places that
Is that a
are-
violin?
Yeah.
base.
So
Or
you got
the
some
guy
base.
asked
coffee.
So that'll help both of them. So we'll do that.
Oh yeah, that gives you stamina.
morale.
Coffee.
It
Sweet.
doesn't, but-
Well, should. It should. Really should.
Our wagon, we really can't do anything about our wagon
What are the red blinkers?
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
with us.
So
So
the red
Any
blinkers
repairs?
are where your
I'm
wagon.
gonna give her some herbal remedy.
Kind of broken.
Because we have so many.
How long ago did you break your leg?
It said she was on 41 days and it'll last for 50.
Oh, okay. So that's how I do that. Okay, down on the bottom right. What is that?
That is the wagon.
Oh, the little.
So, yeah, your wagon is
lights
like-
are the inventory.
So this happens all the time.
Oh, stuff falls off.
All the
Where
time.
you,
So like it all falls out, basically.
yeah, like the
Yeah, like,
wagon's breaking
your
down,
wagon gets
so you have to
more and
repack
more
it.
beat up, and you have to fix it.
It's
And if you
fine.
can't
You
fix
don't have
it,
very much
it
stuff.
just gets. Then you can't have as much stuff in it.
Ah,
So that's where like the red. It's like orange. It's like orange and red or yellow, and yeah, you
Cool.
basically like are trying to fix it. So
so that's about where we got with that one. So, yeah.
yeah, they can, like I said, they continued on and got to Oregon, just the two of them. But I believe that like near the end, their wagon was like really bad off. But there were a couple other forts, and I traded them lots of stuff, and yeah.
What's the story with this upright base?
So with the upright base, I met a guy on the trail, and he asked me to carry it for him.
Okay.
And I had to meet him at a specific place to give it back. And I forget if he gave me something in return or if he was just like, I think it was like really underwhelming. Like he was like, oh, thanks. Kind of.
But you were on a mission to bring it
Yeah.
to all the way to Oregon.
Yeah.
Let's switch those windows around. There it is. There it is. Sweet, sweet.
So yeah, it's a fun game. It's really chill, and there's lots of different parts of it that you can do. And
Is there any other new games that you're excited for on Nintendo Switch?
well, we haven't played the new Zelda, but I've heard it's amazing.
Zelda games are always cool. Did you play Did you play Zelda when you were younger? you
I
ever
did
play
Zelda. Zelda on the NES.
On the NES, yeah, the cartridge that was shiny.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
Yep,
I think it
Johnny,
was the only
Johnny
game.
Shiny cartridge.
Yeah, it was like the only game that I had that was shiny.
Yeah, I remember that too.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and I love the music on like all of those classic NES games. Like, just like burned into my memory. Like, like
Dude,
just
I
so
loved it.
triumphant. Yeah, and then you get into like one of the levels where it's like the castle or the labyrinth, and it was just. I think I just heard it for a second. But yeah, like you get it like into the labyrinth, and it'd be like really creepy.
Yeah.
Just like when you get to the second level on Mario, where it's like
Yeah.
just like the whole vibe
Yep.
change.
When you went into a Pokemon, like in Pokemon Blue, I think the dungeon, there was like a cave music that was different, little different.
See, I love those little touches to have been a like composer of video games.
Okay.
Minnie. She was asleep the whole time.
No bark.
She has her enemy, her arch nemesis is outside. Minnie,
Nope.
you want to say hi? Would you like to say hi to our community? Say hi. Ruff, ruff. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Good job, baby. But yeah, there's probably a million games that are newer at this point that we could probably be covering, but you can't keep up these days with all the new video games and stuff like that. I know that when we got the new Zelda like last time, we were like super
Breath
fun.
of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, and now there's like that whole new game that everybody's all about. So some of you might be waiting for like the new game to drop, and some of you might be waiting for the new album to drop. You know, it doesn't really matter what your jam is, if it's video games or it's music. Don't just consider them hobbies anymore. The Tomorrow Show is here to remind you that these are very important things in your life that can help you fight against the bad feelings that can sometimes build up inside of us due to the stresses in our lives, many of which we have no control over. So really keep those things in mind and really like hold them at their highest value because they are important. Making music with AC is one of my favorite things to do to help alleviate the stress in life. And I've been really fortunate to recently be playing even more music with him in a band that he plays drums for that I've since joined. So me and AC are going to be on a stage pretty soon together with that band. It's called White Rabbit Object, and we'll be playing in April. My first show with the band is April 12th at the Cobra Lounge, and we're opening for a really cool band called Moonwalker. So,
tickets are on sale now.
They sure are. They sure are. So,
on sale now. Link in bio. Go get them.
Yeah, link in bio. Yeah, so it's just been a real treat to be able to find other ways to create music with my boy AC, and to see him behind the drum kit smashing away is like probably one of my favorite things that I've gotten to recently enjoy. So thanks for putting my name in the hat when the time came, man. I really appreciate it. It's been really fun. I really enjoy that music, and
I can't wait.
Look forward to making more memories with you on stage, man.
I'm gonna see my first opera next week. My friend's in an opera, so I'm going to that, and that's gonna be fun.
Oh,
yeah.
It's called Ada, right?
Yeah.
Ada at the Lyric Opera here in Chicago, and it's at the Lyric, and it's gonna be a really awesome show, and we're really proud of our friend Kelsey who's singing in it, and it's always great to see our friends win.
I'm gonna get fancy. I'm gonna get dressed up.
You gonna get dressed up? What are you gonna wear? Tuxedo?
I don't know.
Are you gonna go Janelle Monáe style?
I don't have a tuxedo, so I don't know what I'll do, but we'll see.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll share a little bit of your experience in future episodes to come. And it's been really fun hanging out with y'all this Sunday afternoon, evening, and just want to say to everybody out there, spring is just around the corner. Those warm weather days are coming, and soon enough we'll be outside enjoying a nice breeze together as well. So let's have a picnic, eh? Want to have a picnic? Let's have a picnic. And until we meet again, my name is Mike V.
I'm Erin D.
That's our boy over there, AC. And we'll be back with another Tomorrow Show next month. And until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of your community on the days that you're feeling up to it. And always remember that if you just send a little note to your friends, or you share a little music, you share a little art, you share something that makes you feel good, just those little touches with your friends and your community, no matter how small, can affect someone's day and their outlook on that day. Take it day by day. Remember that tomorrow needs you. And until then, keep on the lookout for Hope for Us Network socials for all the other cool programming coming up on Twitch. We're also streaming on YouTube as well now, and we'll be doing lots more fun things like the D&D campaign that we're in the middle of, Quest for Hope, the Arcane Carnival. Check that out. I think our next stream is next Friday. I'm not actually sure, but check the schedule for Hope for Us Network events. Check out Connect the Dots. Check out Sign of the Times with AC. And make sure that you tune in for any Hope Lounges on the horizon so you can be a part of some of that fun playing games and just chit-chatting, watching movies and stuff like that. Because we know that sometimes you just need a little community, even if it's digital. And we're here for you. So until next time, keep following the Hope for Us Network and keep spreading hope.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you.
One last thank you to Carl for and
everyone have a good rest of your evening.
yeah.
Come here. Oh my
Well.
God, it's horrible.
Woo! It looks like it's still live, my man.
What's up?